Good evening. I'm Mario Bush. As a follow-up to a story we are covering here on 1010 Wins, a Staten Island fallen hero who made the ultimate sacrifice more than a decade ago, now earning a high award.
After more than a decade of waiting, a Staten Island family getting a call straight from the White House.
The president got on, and we were all in shock. My daughter was screaming and yelling. It was such a pleasure to talk to him. He can't wait till he meets us.
Robert and Linda Olis say their son, Staff Sergeant Michael Olis, made the ultimate sacrifice.
We are extremely proud of him.
Either of us could be that brave.
We couldn't be that brave.
The Medal of Honor will soon go in Michael's room, which is turned into a memorial in the Olis home, and they plan to continue giving back to veteran families in need. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in New Dorp.
Wins News Time 8:31. Let's get you where you need to go. Here's Kelly Dillon.
Bumper to bumper on the BQE tonight, both ways heading into Atlantic Avenue in Queens. We're a bit slow on the westbound belt into Cross Bay Boulevard, but an earlier crash has been cleared. Just coming in, a new accident now on the eastbound Grand Central before the Cross Island. That takes out a lane, so traffic quickly slowing up. The LIE is going to be a bit better. Not bad in Midtown on the West Side Highway or the FDR. In New Jersey, the northbound New Jersey Turnpike Western Spur stop and go at 18W with a couple lanes of construction now. The Eastern Spur, it is better. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. They're letting tonight's oversized vehicles across the Ingon George upper level. In the meantime, lower deck better. Not bad outbound. Quiet at the Lincoln and Holland, and no delays now both ways on the Brooklyn Bridge. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Let's get a check of the AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Brian Thompson.
The bitter cold is going to make a return as we head into the weekend. Even tonight, a colder night than last night with patchy clouds, though 19 in the city and the single digits well north and west. Tomorrow, a lot of sunshine. Highs back up around the freezing mark again, pretty similar to what we've experienced the last couple of days. Mainly clear, quite cold tomorrow night, low 17. Clouds, limited sunshine Friday, a high of 30. Then some snow at times Friday night will lead to slippery travel. Should be largely after the Friday evening commute. The snow accumulating a coating to an inch in most spots into Saturday, perhaps a little bit more than that across Suffolk County. Snow showers into Saturday morning, then clouds try to break for some sun, but turning very windy and sharply colder. Temperatures will fall into the teens Saturday. AccuWeather real field temperatures as low as 10 to 20 below into Saturday night as winds gust over 40 miles per hour. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Over a week after that big snowstorm, drivers still trying to maneuver around all that snow. In many areas, it's frozen over again. Just ask local mechanics.
Something as simple as pulling into and out of a parking spot these days involves a showdown with a pile of snow and ice. Brooklyn mechanic Anthony Cannizzaro is seeing all kinds of damage.
Broken mirrors, the undercarriage covers all being torn off because the people are driving over the snow and not realizing that the plastic shields are getting caught.
He says try to avoid parking on top of multiple inches of ice. It's not just cosmetic damage. Joe Sandarciero with Red's Garage in Westchester says
a lot of other things that we see mechanical or transmissions because they're trying to spin in the ice, and what they're doing is getting the car too hot and they're either blowing the transmission.
Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The Stork got extra help on Long Island recently as a Suffolk County cop, along with paramedics from the Stony Brook Fire Department, helped deliver a baby last night during an emergency birth at a home there. Brian Granata from the 6th Precinct responded to an emergency call about a woman in labor at the Parish Court home. Stephanie Hollander, 37, was in active labor, and Granata, along with paramedics, safely delivered the newborn just after 10 at night. Both mom and baby, good condition, Stony Brook Hospital. After a very, very long time at a Long Island shelter, an abandoned dog gets a chance for a new life now. Melia was twice abandoned by her owner 3 years ago, and she was just a puppy. That's when she was first brought to the town of Hempstead Animal Shelter. Paused to Path Forever stepped in. CEO Ingrid Kapnick telling 1010 Wins, it's been hard to find a good family fit, but hopefully that'll be over soon.
She was at this particular shelter for just shy of 900 days, which is crazy. To me, shelters should be used as a pit stop, not anywhere someone should be stuck for long term. It does no good to the animal and the people helping manage.
After a big social media fundraiser, she's headed to a canine rehabilitation center for training to be ready for a new family. Researchers in Zurich are hoping a pink and gray robotic dog can help them predict when volcanoes will erupt.
It's the pitter-patter of robot doggy feet. Animal, a four-legged pink and gray piece of technology, is meant to help sniff out when volcanoes will erupt. Julia Richter is at Robotic Systems Lab, ETH Zurich.
One key precursor of volcanic eruptions is a change of gas emissions.
She says the rocky terrain and loose volcanic sand is a small problem.
Locomotion was for sure a challenge.
Allison Keys with the story. Scientists say ongoing field research at Mount Etna in Sicily is also valuable to making the robot fully autonomous. From the legendary thrills of Coney Island to the cultural center of Staten Island, Snug Harbor, we are New York's all-news station.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good evening, 31 degrees at 8:40. I'm Mario Bosquez, and here's what's happening. Turns out our recent frigid weather was just a rehearsal of what's ahead. AccuWeather with an update. New Jersey officials sound off of the lawsuit launched against the feds over the Big Gateway Tunnel project. New phone audio released, shedding light on a police-involved shooting with a man going through a mental health crisis in Queens. A major ice pullout from Minnesota. Reading, writing, and pickleball coming to some city schools. AccuWeather, big freeze will be on again. Low 19 in the city's single digits in more distant suburbs. Winds you some 841. Let's get you where you need to go. Here's Kelly Dillon.
Bumper-to-bumper delays picking up on the Garden State Parkway southbound exit 129 for the Turnpike and Woodbridge. The two right lanes out with a crash now, so do skip that section of the parkway. Also, the western spur of the New Jersey Turnpike northbound into 18W. 2 lanes of construction work backing up traffic now, so the eastern spur is moving much better. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. We're nice and quiet through Nassau County tonight. No trouble to report along the LIE. The northern and southern states moving well. In Queens on the eastbound Grand Central, an accident right as you approach the Cross Island is getting cleared from the right lane. Just minor slowdowns at the moment. The LIE's looking better. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Nice and quiet now across the George. Tonight's oversized vehicles just went across the inbound to upper deck span. The Lincoln and Holland looking all right. And alternate side parking rules suspended through Sunday, but meters still in effect. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
It could be in the musical Frozen just about amid where the coldest weather of the winter is still ahead. Here's AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson.
We've gotten a bit of a break over the past few days. Temperatures have gotten up to at least around the freezing mark after we had such a bitterly cold week last week. But that bitter cold is going to return, albeit briefly, as we head into the weekend. But this could be some of the most intense cold and the most dangerous cold we've had this winter, as we'll see some snow kind of usher in that very cold air Friday night into Saturday morning. Could be a coating to an inch or so of accumulation. Then the wind is going to pick up and temperatures will tumble Saturday through the teens. AccuWeather real field temperatures dropping as low as 10 to 20 below zero into Saturday night as winds will gust over 40 miles per hour at times.
Keep it here on 1010 Wins for the latest from AccuWeather.
It may feel like a heat wave now, but Mayor Mamdani says the city will plunge into a deep freeze this weekend.
These are dangerous, life-threatening conditions. And as long as temperatures remain this low, the risk of fatal exposure endures.
Even as the city opens more shelters, the city council will hold hearings next week to examine the administration's response to the extreme cold. The mayor asks New Yorkers to do their part.
If you see someone in need, please call 311 immediately.
Although reporters have told him of first-hand experience with glitches reaching 311 and transfers to 911. Julia Papa, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
With this in mind, the mayor and team rolling out a new public service announcement urging homeless New Yorkers to go indoors, recommending calling 311 or 911 for help. The PSA playing on Link NYC terminals. As we deal with the current frigid weather, eyes already turning toward better preparedness for the next time. South Bronx Councilmember Justin Sanchez.
What are ways that we can make sure that if and when this snow happens again, how can we be more prepared? What are ideas that folks are seeing that have worked other places that we didn't have time to implement for this storm, but that we can potentially implement for future storms?
Underscored by a grim reality of our current weather crisis, the city reporting the cold weather death toll now at 17 losses of life. City Council will have an oversight hearing on the 10th of this month, next Tuesday, to assess the city response to the historic stretch of freezing weather. Keep it here on 1010 Winds from AccuWeather and continuing coverage of the frigid weather in our area. We now know who Governor Hochul's running mate will be. Former City Council Speaker Adrienne Adams. Hochul making that announcement today, naming Adams to her re-election ticket. Adams, 65, recently finished 2 terms representing parts of Queens. She ran in last year's mayoral primary, her showing, according to some, reflecting an uncertain political future. The current Lieutenant Governor, Antonio Delgado, is running in the Democratic primary against Hochul. He announced last year he would not be joining the Hochul ticket. A follow-up to a story we're covering here on 1010 Winds. New Jersey officials, including the governor today, sounding off on the lawsuit against the feds over putting the financial brakes on the big Gateway Tunnel project ahead of a possible work shutdown due to this funding freeze.
With the clock ticking to a possible Friday work stoppage, Governor Mikey Sherrill announced the lawsuit at Newark Penn Station.
This is a political decision by the president to cancel money that is already in a pot, being ready to be put to work. So that's why we're fighting.
Acting Attorney General Jennifer Davenport said millions have already been invested.
Money our hardworking residents would never get back if we cannot move forward.
The Gateway Development Corporation has also sued, claiming they'd need to spend upwards of $20 million per month to secure the existing work site. Marla Diamond, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
New phone audio release shedding light on a police-involved shooting with a man going through a mental health crisis in Queens, as a mayor puts forth a proposal on dealing with such issues that has now proved controversial.
Just threw glass at the wall? Yes, but last time when something like this happened, we called for the cops, and they said we should have called for an ambulance instead.
This audio released by the NYPD, audio for the 911 call made by the parents of Jabez Chakraborty, 22. In the call, involuntary transportation had been requested along with an ambulance. Responding police body cam video appears to show Chakraborty holding a knife. After multiple police commands, officials say the officer fired a weapon. Chakraborty was hospitalized, Mayor Mamdani visiting, as he questioned protocols and initiatives related to such type situations, including the possibility of social workers instead of cops responding to mental health issues, proposing the creation of a Department of Community Safety to that end. Although the proposal is proving controversial, critics saying crisis situations can escalate quickly. A Brooklyn safety officer investigators say was trying to break up a fight, winding up hospitalized with a stabbing in her left leg this afternoon near IS-285 Mile 11 in East Flatbush. The officer now hospitalized stable as the investigation goes on. No reports of any arrests. The mayor is speaking out about artificial intelligence-generated images depicting his mother, filmmaker Mira Nair, with Jeffrey Epstein.
We also have to work to ensure that we have a city, we have a state, we have a country that actually has a regulatory system when it comes to AI. Because frankly, what it looks like today is a system that is ill-equipped for the speed and the reach of the technologies in front of us.
That is from a press conference in Far Rockaway today. The images falsely claiming the mayor as a child and his mother with the disgraced financier, which was widely shared on social media Monday, marked as AI. The images first appeared on an X account labeled parody amid the release of a huge number of new Epstein files. A short-lived partnership with ICE and St. John's University now over, as the university quietly suspends the association to train students for careers in Homeland Security. No response as of yet from ICE officials, all this in the wake of outcry from some St. John's students and faculty when they learned of this partnership. A major ICE pullout from Minnesota.
We'll draw down 700 people effective today.
Holman says that will leave about 2,000 agents in Minnesota. He says they've made significant progress working with state and local officials to arrest undocumented immigrants.
This is smart law enforcement, not less law enforcement.
Holman says those with criminal records are still the focus, but
if you're in the country illegally You are not off the table.
He says agents have taken hundreds of people accused of homicide, assault, and sex crimes off the street.
Everybody should be grateful for that.
Correspondent Michael Wallace. Life in prison for Ryan Ruth for attempting to assassinate the president.
For handing down the life sentence, Judge Eileen Cannon directly addressed Ruth and described his actions as evil and deliberate. Last year, Ruth unsuccessfully attempted to defend himself during his federal trial, and the jury convicted him after 3 hours of deliberations. A judge recently appointed a lawyer for Ruth who plans to appeal. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
This weekend forecast, Saturday will be windy and bitterly cold with ineffective sunshine in New York City with a high only 12, the coldest day of the winters thus far. Frigid Sunday with some sunshine, the high 17.
Reading, writing, and pickleball coming to some city schools. We'll tell you about that. But first, Wednesday's Time 8:51 is Get You Where You Need to Go with Kelly Dillon.
Bumper to bumper in New Jersey tonight on the southbound Garden State Parkway, exit 129 to the Turnpike and Woodbridge. The two right lanes are down with a crash, so do skip that spot on the Parkway. The New Jersey Turnpike Western Spur at a standstill, heading northbound into 18W with 2 lanes of road work, so go for the Eastern Spur. It is moving much better. The BQE in Brooklyn, slow moving from both ways heading into Atlantic Ave. Luckily in the Bronx, we're moving well on the Cross Bronx and the Deegan tonight. In Queens, there's a crash clearing up on the eastbound Grand Central at the Cross Island. Minor slowdowns. The LIE looking okay. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. A quiet ride across the George tonight. No problems to report at the Lincoln or Holland. Picking up a bit on the Queensbound RFK on the Queenspan. Both the Whitestone and Throgs Neck bridges moving well. Kelly Dillon, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Let's get a check of the AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Just a few clouds around for tonight. It is going to be colder, low 19 in the city. It will get down into the single digits in some more distant northern and western suburbs. A sunny day tomorrow, a high of 32. And then cold tomorrow night with a mainly clear sky, low 17 in the city. It's going to get down into the single digits again, well north and west. Clouds limiting sun Friday, a high 30. Looks like we'll see snow arrive Friday evening, especially after the commute. And that could lead to some slippery travel into Saturday morning with the potential for a coating to an inch of snow, maybe up to 1 to 3 inches across Suffolk County, where the snow will likely linger longer into Saturday. And Saturday's when things turn very cold and very windy. Winds will gust over 40 miles per hour at times. As temperatures fall into the teens, AccuWeather real field temperatures will drop as low as 10 to 20 below into Saturday night, and highs still only in the teens Sunday. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Some city schools are getting pumped about pickleball.
Kids at PS9 are going wild for after-school pickleball.
How much do you love pickleball?
I love it so much! Very fun, very exciting to do, and everybody can have fun together.
8-year-old Jace plans on being a pro one day. He's got some competition in the form of his classmates.
Pickleball should be the best sport, and it should be in every school.
That's the goal for the nonprofit Conquer Kids and co-founder Lewis Law.
Pickleball's great because you can play it anywhere. So we can do it in a cafeteria, an auditorium, a schoolyard.
15 schools to start for this pilot program. They hope to at least double that by the end of the year. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Could dining sheds be making a year-round comeback?
Outdoor dining at restaurants all across the city could soon be year-round again. That is, if Council Speaker Julie Menem has her way.
We are going to fix the outdoor dining program and make it year-round. These measures are going to help small businesses survive and adapt.
Right now, outdoor dining is seasonal from April to late November. But Executive Director and founder of New York City Hospitality Alliance, Andrew Ridgie, says it could really help businesses thrive.
It is tough to be a small business, and we need government to make it easier for those restaurants across the city to succeed.
Mayor Mamdani already says he's on board with this idea, but it'll come down to a city council vote. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Some critics are opposed, saying outdoor dining leads to rodents and unsanitary conditions. Now, Bloomberg Money Watch.
A tepid forecast from chipmaker Qualcomm after the closing bell. A sign of possible trouble for the smartphone market as higher costs drive prices higher. On Wall Street today, second day of weakness in the tech sector. A lot of worries about new AI-powered software. That led to a mixed day for the major averages. The Dow up 260, but the tech-heavy NASDAQ down 351, 1.5% lower. The S&P lost 35. And happy birthday to Facebook. It was started 22 years ago today in Mark Zuckerberg's college dorm room as The Facebook. It now has 3 billion active monthly users. This report is sponsored by Fidelity. I'm Tom Busby. Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
1010 Wins.
They know what's going on.
It's quick, it's reliable.
They're always on top of breaking news. 1010 Wins.
All news, all the time.
On 92.3 FM.
WINS FM in HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 Wins and from any other radio station in the nation. Sweet Tina Kakar at the editor's desk. I'm Mario Bosquez.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, New York.
31 degrees, mostly clear at 9 o'clock. Good evening, I'm Lane Bajardi, and here's what's happening. Another cold downturn ahead in the weather. Amid new questions about the city's approach to the last storm. A council hearing now planned to air out the concerns. A school safety officer was stabbed this afternoon attempting to break up a fight between students in East Flatbush. In a new video tonight, Savannah Guthrie speaks about the abduction of her mother.
Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere.
She's calling on the kidnappers to bring the family proof of life. Mayor Mamdani reacts to AI-generated fake photos spread by people trying to connect him with Jeffrey Epstein. The city council speaker wants to revive year-round outdoor dining sheds. Sports, Knicks host the Nuggets. Rangers traded Artemi Panarin to the Kings. The Devils acquire Nick Bjugstad from the Blues. AccuWeather says patchy clouds and colder tonight. Low 19 in the city. Single digits north and west. Wins News Time 9:01. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
A new crash in New Jersey tonight on the 8095 local lanes heading southbound by exit 71. The right lane and shoulder out. Locals backing up, head to the Express instead. The New Jersey Turnpike, Western Spur northbound into 18W. Construction knocks out a couple lanes. It is bumper to bumper, and the Eastern Spur is also picking up through the area with that extra volume. Garden State Parkway, southbound exit 129 in Woodbridge. A slow ride, the 2 right lanes out with an accident. Busy on the BQE in Brooklyn tonight, both ways into Atlantic Ave. It is stop and go. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big 3. In Nassau County, moving well on the LIE and no trouble to report on the northern or southern states. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Very quiet on the George. No problems at the Lincoln or Holland. And alternate side parking suspended through Sunday. Meters remain in effect. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
How are you feeling about the city's reaction to last month's winter storm? With many areas still seeing large piles of ice and snow and the death toll rising to 17, members of the city council believe an oversight hearing is in order. Public safety and general welfare committees plan to focus on the city code blue operations. Councilmember Justin Sanchez.
So this oversight hearing is to make sure that folks are understanding what the processes were as these storms come, what processes will be in place as future storms come, and how we can continue to ever better our systems.
The hearing is planned for next Tuesday. The mayor continued his daily updates on the storm response.
Mayor Mamdani warning New Yorkers to take care that the extreme cold isn't going away.
These are also some of the coldest conditions that the city has faced in its recorded history.
The deep freeze continues. The city council will hold hearings to examine the administration's response to the extreme conditions. Will they ask about problems with 311 response to homeless reporting?
We are continuing to follow up to make sure that these are the operations that are operating at the best possible level.
There have been several reported instances of glitches and hang-ups trying to get through. Julia Papa, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
A new public service announcement aimed at homeless New Yorkers now rolling out on Link NYC terminals, urging people to seek help by calling 311 right on the terminal. Connect them with warmer shelter. The weather is not improving, actually quite the contrary, as we hear from
Brian Thompson, AccuWeather.
Potentially the coldest weather we've seen this winter is coming our way as we head into the weekend. This is on the heels of that Arctic blast we had last week. This next round of cold air looks to be more intense, but also not as long-lasting. This will be focused mainly on the weekend, then temperatures will rebound into next week. We are going to see about a coating to an inch of snow in many places Friday night as this colder air moves in. Then temperatures fall into the teens Saturday. AccuWeather real field temperatures dropping as low as 10 to 20 below zero into Saturday night because winds will be gusting over 40 miles per hour at times, and it will stay blustery and bitterly cold Sunday.
Locking into 1010 Winds for frequent AccuWeather updates. More violence near a city school building. School safety officer stabbed this afternoon attempting to break up a fight between students. Police say it happened around dismissal time, 312, near IS 285 in East Flatbush. The officer stabbed in the leg, now in stable condition at Kings County. No arrest made. The investigation continues. A prayer vigil held outside